Hi Scorpio, Rosemary from Rosemary Astrology, and welcome to your October 2024 astrology. And I can't believe I'm already doing the October astrology. That means there's like 3 months left in the year. That's just amazing. Let's talk about your 12th house because the sun is there, Mercury is there, the new moon is there, and it is a new moon eclipse or a solar eclipse happening there. The 12th house, very much your inner self, where you go to get quiet, to check in with yourself. It is everything that is otherworldly. So if you do dream work, if you meditate, where do we go when we're meditating? Or where do we go when we dream, a type of thing? It's also all the practices that relate to that. So a new moon marks a new beginning. I always say on a new moon, you can make a resolution related to that house. Maybe you want to adopt a practice of some sort. But on an eclipse, it is even more powerful. There is change coming in, fated change that is here to stay, but it is happening in the shadows. It's happening in darkness, Scorpio, and you can't really see it yet. But it is spiritual change for you. This is marking the start of a change in terms of your spiritual self and something you will probably ease into quite easily. And I hope that doesn't sound redundant because you are a water sign and the 12th house is associated with Pisces, which is also a water sign. So that idea of flowing between worlds of, again, tapping into that other world that we know is there, but we visit. We're not always there. And sometimes we don't exactly know how to get back there. Hence all the practices. That is what's taking place, but you're not seeing it yet. Mercury is your thought process, your communication, but in your 12th house, I'm tempted to say you are examining things within you. It can be deep subconscious patterns that affect our outlook, affect the way we see things in life, the way we approach things. You are maybe exploring different practices. You are maybe doing a lot of self-talk, so discussing things with yourself. There's something secretive about the 12th house. So I don't think you would be talking about this with others. It is what we keep to ourselves. There's a secretiveness to the 12th house. So even more so, again, on an eclipse with that idea of darkness, something secretive going on, something that has to be uncovered, something your sign is very, very good at, looking below the surface. Maybe it is something to do with yourself. It can be also, secrets that you keep. The 12th house, again, the privacy of the 12th house or the seclusion of the 12th house comes from the fact that it is things that we don't really want to share with others because, again, they are secret. There are sometimes things we're ashamed of. There are things we are fearful of. Our fears probably all sit here in the 12th house as well. But do know, my usual advice is always don't make any major decisions, choices, starting something around the time of the eclipse because you don't have all the information. And I'm going to repeat this because I'm not sure if I said it. This eclipse is happening on the 2nd. I'm probably going to put that up on screen when I began speaking about this. But it's on the 2nd of October at 2:45 p.m. Of course, that's Eastern time at 10 degrees of Libra. Before the sun leaves Libra, there's going to be a full moon across in Aries, of course. Very, very different energy on the 17th at 24 degrees of Aries. Full moons mark an ending or something coming to culmination, and we see them because they're in the light of the moon. This is where you are of service to others. So it is your work, academic work, just job work. It is coworkers' workload. It is even unpaid work. So if you're a stay-at-home parent, if you're retired, it includes volunteer work as well. It is our physical health. It's all the lifestyle habits, habits that are good or bad that contribute to our physical health. So maybe, this change is coming in slowly. Whether you are seeing it already or not, I don't know, but something is going to be highlighted, maybe something or a certain way you can't show up anymore for others because there's a beginning here and there's more attention being drawn to your inner self. I would just add though, Scorpio, this full moon, again, might be sort of like a smaller version replay, but with a culmination of some sort of what happened here with the eclipse. But this full moon is going to briefly, because the moon moves very fast, but it's going to square Mars sitting at your traditional ruler, by the way, Mars, sitting at about 22 degrees of Capricorn, of Cancer. So it's just going to bring a little extra irritation in there. A square is always a chafing energy. And of course, Mars really wants to act, right? Mars is going to be, potentially very annoyed and want to speak out or act out. But again, on a full moon, emotions run high. We have Mars contributing to all that. Just try to hold off acting out. As much as I give that advice on an eclipse, I also give that advice for a full moon. Emotions run higher. So again, give yourself a few days on either side, like from the 21st to the 27th about. Same message, by the way, for the eclipse, but even on a bigger scale, if you can even, a week before and after is ideal, not to make choices or make decisions or to initiate anything. Venus sits in your sign until the 17th when she moves into your second house, which is good news for you. Venus is all about relationships, wants to enter into relationship with others, can make you very charming when she transits through your sign. When Venus moves through our first house as well, Scorpio, because this is also our appearance, either our online appearance or in-person appearance, she can have you spending money on wardrobe items, revamping your look, going in for a makeover, getting your hair done, getting your makeup done, even, some sort of cosmetic procedure. Venus, again, also makes you very charming. Others are drawn to you. They will want to enter into relationship with you. Venus in your sign, because you are so intuitive about seeing below the surface or seeing, behind the facade people have, sometimes there's a bit of an unfair advantage there as well. Venus can be very incisive in your sign, almost even manipulative or underhanded. There's an idea of easily being able to get what you want because you can see what is going on with others quite easily. Your sign also relates to sex as well. So that idea of sex or the promise of sex in order to further or to get something you want. Again, that idea, and no judgments here, but that idea of Venus being able to, Venus is too nice to actually be underhanded and manipulative, but it's just, and maybe that's the wrong term, but, strategic. I know someone who would have said, who actually said, someone I worked with, who I said, isn't that a bit underhanded? And her answer was, no, I'm strategic. So let's use strategic. But it's easy to see where others are coming from, and it's easy to position yourself to get what you want. So I'm going to leave it at that and not go any deeper into that. Scorpio, sorry for this brief butting in. This is going to look so different from the previous part of the video because I've actually changed my studio setup since filming your video, but I had to pop back in here because I wanted to mention, I almost forgot, there is going to be a Venus-Uranus opposition, especially important for you because it's on a relational axis, self and other. And that is going to take place from the 12th to the 17th. Remember, Uranus is a very disruptive energy, so breakdowns, breakthroughs, breaking away, quite a need for freedom. He's been there several years in your 7th house, so probably, Uranus functions in fits and starts when he gets triggered, but probably the last several years, anything to do with committed partnerships, even with an ex, even with rivals in the competition, there's a lot of disruptive energy or a lot of sudden events. There's always the goal with Uranus of having us evolve, but sometimes things can be very, very disruptive, and we want a lot of freedom. We really want to be feeling free. Definitely with an opposition to Venus, an idea of freedom within relationships or relational liberty or more freedom. I don't want to do scary astrology and say, oh my gosh, this is the end of your partnership, your committed partnership, or your business partnership is going to fall through. Definitely not, but it might be a period when you need more freedom. Perhaps you're questioning how you fit within the partnership. There's always the idea of the first house being our individuality, not losing ourselves within the partnership. At the same time, you can't have a partnership functioning, just according to you. There's always this idea of balance. Excess may be something to do with an ex, maybe, I don't know, an ex still in your life, you're still friends, and now you're just a little more, what, I just need more freedom from that. I just can't be, I don't know, carrying this baggage around. I've never been friends with any of my exes. Full disclosure here. This is funny, Scorpio, because I'm a Taurus sun and I'm a Scorpio rising. So maybe this is why I'm confiding in you so much. But do know there is going to be really that feeling of intense need to perhaps examine more freedom, and it can come in form of some disruption. Maybe it's something you initiate, maybe it's just something Uranus is hitting us with out of the blue. A lot of out of the blue energy with Uranus, like getting hit with a bolt of lightning type of thing, because that is something Uranus rules. So I just absolutely wanted to tell you that so you'll be aware of it. You can feel the energy building a bit before, dying down a bit after, but the opposition is very, very close and very, very tight on those days. So that's what I wanted to say, Scorpio. Back to our regular programming. Then, of course, on the 17th, Venus moves into your second house in Sagittarius. Venus does also relate to money, and the second, of course, is your wealth, your income, what you value as well. Very, very favorable to have Venus's energy there if you have to ask for more money, if you have a job or a business that depends on clients. They will be much more charmed. They will be easier to get them on board. Venus can just have you coming up with really, really good money-making ideas. Remember, Venus is the lesser benefic in astrology, so very favorable energy to have Venus related to money in our second house, of course, of money. Venus enters into relationship with others in a big way in Sagittarius. She's more the truth seeker there. She's the big ideas, and she's very, very open, very extroverted, almost even, a little bit goofy in Sagittarius, as opposed to, in your sign where she's a little bit more hanging back and looking at what's going on type of thing. She is charming in both, Scorpio, but in a very, very different way. Finally, let's talk about Mars. Mars is sitting in your ninth house of higher education, long distance travel, everything that is foreign and broadens our horizon. So it's also medicine, philosophy, the law, studying things that are philosophical or metaphysical. Mars is just drive, energy. Mars, as your traditional ruler, takes on that aspect again of incisiveness. Mars rules the military, the paramilitary, but also metal, sharp objects and instruments. So surgeons are related to Mars, butchers are related to Mars. That idea of incisiveness and going below the surface. So if you are in college or university, you're going to have a great, great boost of energy. You're going to have a lot of drive, a lot of focus for the whole month, because Mars spends all of October in Cancer. Maybe you want to travel. Mars is a very let's do this type of energy. So you are actually going to make the plans and go ahead with it. Maybe you're just very zestily and eagerly studying different life outlooks, or just studying different approaches as well. So Scorpio, that is everything I wanted to tell you for October. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope this was helpful. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.